Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and welcome back to more Ace Attorney 5, Dual Destinies, Case 2, Turnabout, Monster's Turnabout, something like that. Anyway, so, we just finished the trial. We gotta go back and now investigate more to go investigate more stuff. That's about it, yeah, there's really not a lot else to say there. Anyway. April 18th, Write Anything Agency. Or Write Anything Agency. The joke is that it sounds like you can write anything you want. I think. Anyway. Maybe I'll go read over some past cases. And I'll go do some research on exorcisms. Hey, what's with you guys? You seem bummed out. How should I put this? It's like we're at the edge of a cliff and the only way is down. In other words, business as usual, right? Yeah, I suppose so. Except this time it's like we're bound and gagged, too. Alright, audio seems fine. Don't forget blindfolded with our ears plugged up. Ooh, and monsters at every turn, huh? Sounds rough. Hey, Apollo. Oh, and Athena's here, too. Hey, Lolvich, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Mr. Wright? How goes the investigation, Apollo? Athena? I think it's safe to say that things have gotten hairier than before. Really? What happened? Okay, well, hopefully he'll have some answers here. Alright, I was watching the two of you this morning from the gallery. That was one tough day in court, to say the least. I know. I've never had to defend a yokai before. That business about the locked room was another major hurdle. Yeah, and on top of that, Jinxie was accused of being an accomplice. But at least you figured out how someone could have escaped that locked room. Yeah, well, we just found out that our reasoning might be a tad flawed. Yeah, for those who don't remember, my stick drift on my controller actually helped me out that time. It actually selected an option that was a different one than I wanted, but was actually the right option. So hey, you know what? Sometimes it works out. Oh, really? Well, that's bad news. I'm just about to eat it for the first time. I'd recommend eating more. And it's probably the last time today, even if it's 3 p.m. and I've been up since 6. Yeah, sorry to hear that. That sucks. I would recommend eating more than that, but I'm sure there's a reason why you're not. How are we gonna get out of this one? Oh, the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Force a smile? Yeah, my mentor taught me that back when I was still learning the trade. She also taught me to return to the basics whenever I got stuck. Return to the basics whenever I got stuck. Return to the basics? That's right. Always believe in your client, no matter what happens. I know, it's Chris Permanent Signature is actually a blessing. Like Venus Alzheimer's. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Sometimes it helps. That is a lawyer's greatest and most trusted weapon. The basics. Always believe in your client, huh? So, Mr. Wright, how long have you known Athena? I met her during a trip to Europe. Huh? You were in Europe? Why haven't I heard about this before? Yeah, I went there a few times to study in various legal systems over there. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I thought you worked as a pianist after you quit practicing law. I did, but an old friend of mine needed help with some legal work from time to time, so... Oh, Edgeworth? Did Edgeworth need his help? Huh. Oh, I guess you were never very far from the courtroom, then. It was like fate brought us together. It's thanks to Mr. Wright that I became a lawyer at all. Wait, I should do a real laugh. Or, what sounds like a real laugh. I'm working on it. Alright. I knew she was lawyer material from the moment I met her. But your controller doesn't fuck you over, and like how my controller's at random DC during an MH mission, unfortunately. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. I do think they should make a thing where it pauses, at least when you're offline. You know? I just think that's like... I think it's weird that they don't do that. And I have high hopes for her ability to analyze people's emotions. What kind of face is that, Athena? It's nothing special. Maybe I've underestimated that analytical psychology of hers. It's just... I thought that if my special ability could help defend innocent people, then I had to do everything in my power to bring it to the courtroom. That's when I really started hitting the books hard. I'm gonna pause the game whenever I turn off the console and turn it back on again, or actually just pause the game normally. Yeah, I mean, I really think they should just, like... I understand the idea of being like, oh, if you're online, you can have anyone connect to your hunt at any time if they wanted to join in. But I really think they should just make it to where you can just pause. I realize at that point it might be like a detriment of like, oh, you can't join during a progress, like an in-progress hunt, but I'm kind of okay with that, honestly. My Switch dies mid-quest is fine, but a control DC, nah, you're dead. Pretty much. Yeah. I'm still amazed she actually became a lawyer. And at the tender age of 18, no less. Wow, that's almost superhuman. Or personal. Like she's trying to help someone she knows. Or somebody she knows. Alright, I'm totally pumped up after talking to you, Mr. Wright. It's like you said, the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. And don't forget to return to the basics whenever you get stuck. Keep believing in my client. Right. Mr. Wright? Yes? I'm going to visit our client again. I think that's a good idea. Alright, time to see what's new down at the detention center. There should be an option in settings to shut down online features, because I don't like online games that much. I agree. Yeah, just, like, let people have the single-player aspect if they don't even plan on, like, joining other people at all, you know? April 18th, Detention Center Visitors Room. Mayor Tenma, we wanted to talk to you about something. Gosh, oh, right, he's doing this shit. I forgot about that. He's pretending to be a yokai so that his daughter doesn't get indicted. So my minions have returned. Apollo, he still thinks he's a yokai. I wonder if we'll ever be able to talk to Mayor Tenma again. Silence, peddler of the legal trade. Free me from these imprisoning walls with great haste. Wow, he's sounding more and more like a real demon with every sentence. All the games scare me shitless, not because they're hard to scare, just because they're terrifying because I hate interacting with people. Yeah, I don't like failing people, or like, I don't like being the reason the quest fails, so I try to avoid those too. I don't know, I generally just try not to do a lot of multiplayer stuff. Still, we can't let Mayor Tenma stay possessed, you know what I mean? If you can clear me of these charges, I shall help in whatever manner I may. Now, ask of me what you will. I suppose it's worth a shot. Were those feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime really your doing? Indeed! The remnants of Tenma Taro, king of the underworld they be! I'm surprised there's no, like... I guess I don't really have a Cyclock ability at the moment, so... Tenma does have a strong presence of a yokai, so I'm sure... So it makes sense he'd use that to buy time. Yeah, he is an intimidating guy. I'll give you that. A day when I once again dominate the mortal world is at hand! Ka 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 ka! The prosecution claims the feathers and tracks were planted by Jinxie. What's this? I must breach these walls and go defend my little Jinxie at once! Huh? Mayor Tenma, is that you? Well, now Damien appears to still reside within this body. But I should have expected as much from a descendant of mine! Be silent now, Damien! I guess a little thing like demonic possession won't stop a father's love for his daughter. You didn't kill Alderman Cubey, did you? I have killed no one! The remnants of my presence have been misconstrued. The murderer is not I. Or if I had slain that mortal, raging hellfire would have consumed him. Yikes! So you're saying there must have been somebody else there? To think of it, the mayor had mentioned that he'd been clubbed with this statue. Better ask about this, too. Detective Fulbright mentioned that you might have something new to tell me. Indeed, I have. I regurgitated this key but a short while ago. Why did you swallow it in the first place? Behold, the key to the Forbidden Chamber! Whoa, is regurgitation one of your demonic powers too? Bah! I do not waste my powers on such parlor tricks. Him role-playing as well as he is, despite not knowing what the hell roleplay is absolutely glorious. Oh, he'd be amazing at it. What is this cosplay you speak of? And suddenly he's at, like, the next, like, Comiket dressed as, like, I don't know, Megatron? I think you could probably do it. I think you could pull it off. Take the key from the killer, did Damien, whereupon he swallowed it. But why? He sought to bar the killer's entry to the Forbidden Chamber, and they did it anyway. So he wanted to keep it shut tight. But no fingerprints shall you find upon that key. How do you know that? Wait, is that another one of your demonic powers then? Foolish mortal! You would have me, Tenmataro, act as some asinine alchemist? I mean, a normal alchemist would suffice, but... And swallow, I think it's more just like... I don't know. Why would you swallow a key? That seems like he'd be better optimist than anything. He does... Okay, you know what? I'll give you that. He definitely does have more of a, like, a friendly vibe in that regard. So I guess it would be optimist, but yeah. I but asked the jailer, and my will was done. Quite eagerly, I must add. Caw, 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 caw. Always an honor to serve, your malevolence. Guess I'm not the only one here he scares the living daylights out of. Can we ask how you use this key? Well, it's a key, Athena. We couldn't find a keyhole anywhere in and around the door. Okay, that makes sense. Curse that infernal door! If I had known its manner of opening long, long ago, would I have made my return? He has a point there. Maybe Jinxie knows something about how the whole thing works. Well, we got the key. Chamber key added to the court record. Okay, move to the Fox Chamber. Ah. Oh. I guess we already asked him this, huh? Let's in that case go. She's probably at the garden then. Or not. Wait, did I talk to her? Huh, never mind. Where would she be? The foyer? 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 Maybe. Where the... Actually, where the fuck is she? Yokai Lane? Huh. Maybe we need to go to Detective Fulbright then? What skill could the door possibly have in order to hold back an entire demon? One written in Spanish. If the demon doesn't know what it says, they can't pass it. Justice needs backup sometimes, too. So I don't mind you asking for help, but you should start by thinking things over yourself. After all, the road to justice starts with your own first step. Ha 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 ha. If you don't have any information to offer, you could just say so. Foyer can be pronounced any way you want. You know what, I'm just gonna keep saying it 3 times every time just to maintain consistency. Alright, fine. Athena, what do you got? Any ideas? So the crime scene was locked tight at the time. This is a tough one. The only people in that locked room were the deceased, the alderman, and the mayor. Maybe the killer hid somewhere in that room. But is there really anywhere to hide in the Fox Chamber? That was quite a day in court. The news just can't stop talking about how the demon Tenmataro made an appearance. There's never an exorcist around when you need one. Well, I heard the judge actually held an exorcism in his courtroom after that. Good. Let's hope it's the last we'll see of that pain in the neck, yokai. I don't know. I have a feeling Tenma Taro could exorcise an exorcist. What, would that work if they're not like a spirit? Spanish rituals really do have that sense of absolute awe to them, and plus religious Mexicans don't pay the demon shit up very much, so it makes sense. Yeah, it's like writing something in like, I don't know, fucking binary, and showing that to a person. It's like that, but for demons. Alright, well, let's see. Shit. If she's not there, then where is she? Where the fuck is she? Well, surely she's not back here. We need to ask about the key? I was hoping you'd take a look at this.
An offering to me, quite admirable. But the best thing you could offer me is to win my freedom!
What is the root of an exorcist's power? I guess if they exercise things by, like, setting them on fire, then yeah, you could exercise an exorcist, but, like, I guess at that point depends on the method. Huh. Right, I'll do my best. So not here. Where would Jinxie be if she's not there? Or do I just need to examine the thing? Never mind, can't examine the... Huh. So Jinxie isn't showing up. The spirit is what used to perform an exorcism that works. If another form of magic, then any form of nullification should theoretically do the trick. Is there anything else I can ask him? No. Huh. Maybe I need to do something to, like, get him to remember who he is. Like, show him something of Jinxie's.
What, might I ask, is that?
This statue was found at the scene. Someone hit Mayor Tenma over the head with it. It had been wrapped in a large cloth before the alderman's murder.
Let me see whether Damien knows about such a thing. Yes. Something wrapped in just such a cloth does he recall. A secret gift from Alderman Cuby, it would seem. He, however, had not a chance to see it until now, for the cloth did conceal it.
Maybe the cloth fell off or was removed after the mayor was struck.
Of that Damien does not know.
Secret gift? Interesting. Maybe Jinxie knows something about it. I should question him about the blackmail letter, too. Let's see what he says when I show it to him. For a demon, he's surprisingly cooperative. Well, I mean, if he wants to get out of here, he kind of has to cooperate.
Why, this is that accursed blackmail letter that was sent to Damien!
Apparently, somebody slipped it into the alderman's pocket. We believe someone, probably the killer, stole it from Mayor Tenma's briefcase. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Gah, 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 gah. You have questions, do you? Very well. Ask away, mortal.
Oh, there you go. I like that it takes you directly to the question screen, so I don't have to just go click on it. Who placed this in the alderman's pocket?
Very few were they who knew the letter was in Damien's briefcase.
So whoever knew about the blackmail letter being in the mayor's briefcase is a potential suspect in its theft and emplacement in the alderman's pocket. If he was a real demon, just to use some ritual to undo the locks to control a guard. Physical paralysis spells aren't that hard either. What if he's not like one of those magic demons and he's more like a Devil May Cry demon where he just kind of has like a scythe or something and that's it. I guess in this case he had a staff or whatever, but I mean, let's just face facts here. He isn't possessed at all, but you know, if he was, maybe he has other options. Maybe he could have just possessed someone else.
Could it have been his doing?
Mr. Mayor, I mean, Mr. Taro, did you just remember something?
Indeed, I did. There was but one,
well, obviously we know he did it because we saw the little video before the trial started, but
there was but one other who knew of that letter. Damien's aide, Florent Labelle.
Full knowledge of that briefcase's contents did that aide possess. And he may be the blackmailer and the murderer we're looking for. He has super strength or enhanced speed like the DMC demon, then just go Devil Trigger and rip this person apart. That's fair, yeah. I mean, they're all strong. Pretty much all demons in Devil May Cry are stronger than your average person, so like, yeah, that makes sense.
That is preposterous! He's a most trusted advisor. He would never betray Damien.
It seems like Mayor Tenma is a bit too trusting of those around him. Still, this is huge. Now we know who might have slipped that blackmail letter into the Alderman's pocket. Look out, Florent the Bell. Here comes justice! Let's go find Mr. LaBelle and rake him over the coals. Alright, thanks for the help. You've just given us a major lead. Blackmail letter updated in the court record. Something that still bothers me. If Mr. LaBelle is the killer, what could have motivated him to open the Forbidden Chamber? We should probably search it for clues. Only one problem. How do you open a locked door that doesn't have a keyhole? Let's go talk to Jinxie. Maybe she can help. Not here. Got it. Okay, here we go. April 18th, Nine Tails Vale. Yokai Lane. Hey, isn't that... Oh, there she is. You dare imprison me? Jinxie! She's acting really strange. Whenever you take a drink of water, I like the characters to take a normal long pause in games, so everyone's just really slow talkers. Imagine, too, like, there's like, I think I know who the murderer is. I take a sip, and they're all just waiting with bated breath for like 30 seconds while I'm like drinking, and they're like, it's you! And they're like, huh! Oh, what's this gonna be? That loathsome, no-good, nine-tailed fox! You shall know the terror that is mine in despair! Is she actually possessed? You shall pay. Oh, you shall pay dearly! All of you! Jinxie, are you alright? Dick! Oh, is that you, Mr. Demon Lawyer? Morning, Jinxie. Morning. You said it already past noon? And what am I doing here? Just I remember I laid down to take a nap back at the manor. Oh no! It must have been the Makura Gaeshi! Makura Gaeshi? Ever wake after a restless night's sleep to find your pillow in an unusual place? Or that you've been sleeping on the floor or in the hallway? No. Luckily, I have not. Well, it's that yokai's fault. The Makura Gaeshi preys on people while they're asleep. It sounds like you just need to be tucked in really tight, or maybe a snug sleeping bag. Jinxie, how come you don't have any charms in your forehead? I don't? Oh, they must have fallen off. Without them, evil things can creep into me. I'd say we had more than adequate demonstration of that just now. Imagine what Tenma and Jinxie are actually possessed, and Tenma's just using that to roleplay better. One's just a better fighter against possession. That is possible, I guess. We have seen, like, spirits possess people, so I guess there might be demons. Just in theory. I'd better reapply them. Oh, there we go. I thought you looked a little weird without that. Jinxie, there's something we wanted to ask you. There was something I wanted to tell you, too. I remembered something else. You did? What was it? Well, didn't mean to pick that one, but, yeah. Both cases of possession we've seen are from spirit medium style characters, so it makes sense for her to be as well. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, this is just something that's kind of unexplored so far as Ace Attorney is concerned. Jinxie, you wouldn't happen to know how to open the Forbidden Chamber, would you? That door doesn't even have a keyhole. Well, it's supposed to have a secret mechanism. They say that you have to figure it out before the keyhole will appear. Secret mechanism? Really? Uh-huh. It's hidden in the Fox Chamber. But only Alderman QB knew what it was and how it worked. The Alderman of Ninetails Vale sure loved his The Alderman of Ninetails Vale sure loved his secrets. Apollo, let's go see if we can find that secret mechanism. Whoa, slow down. There's something else I need to ask about. Jinxie, is there only one key to the Forbidden Chamber? Uh-huh. Even the Manor's Master Key won't open it. That's because it's a very special room that must never be opened. He's mitten the box. Never been opened. Guess that means nobody entered the Forbidden Chamber after the murder. After all, we know Mayor Tenma took the key from the killer and swallowed it, so... So the Mayor's effort to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber were not in vain! Interesting, only one of its kind. Jinxie, can you tell us what you remembered? Well, after the trial, I remembered lots of stuff. The most common struggle I see with reading is that everyone keeps accidentally using the previous character's voice. Yeah, that's a really big problem for me in stuff like this, where it's like the biggest indication that like a character's voice changes when it's like, let's say the perspective character like Apollo, is that it's just the name of the text box changes. Sometimes I don't see that when I'm like saying it. So that way I just keep like using the other character's voice when I do like the next line. I need to just pay attention to who it says is talking. There was only one thing I thought was really weird. I'm almost afraid to ask, but here goes. Really? What? It's about the yokai feathers and tracks. They weren't there when I first opened the door. Oh, wait, what? Are you sure? Uh-huh. My memory's crystal clear now. So you're saying they were left at the crime scene after you found it? This could spell major trouble, Apollo. Why? Because Jinxie is already accused of leaving the feathers and tracks at the scene. If they weren't there when she discovered the crime scene, it will totally fuel the claim that she was fabricated the evidence later on. Jinxie's fuzzy memory of the whole incident is really working against us. The prosecution will probably say she doesn't remember planting the evidence. Good luck rebutting that. Oh man, this is not good. That happens a lot more than me than I'd like to admit. Because some characters in the inside Red have very different voices, so that that makes me annoyed because I have natural transitions. I do too. Yeah, I like just being able to like switch between the voices. I sure hope she didn't plant the evidence while she was sleepwalking or something. In that case, go to the Fox Chamber. Huh. In that case, I guess we ought to ask her about something else then. What's this? The Tsukumogami? Tsukumogami? A yokai that inhabits objects that have been used for a really long time. The red demon and the Tsukumogami. What a strange combination. Is everything to her some supernatural phenomenon? So, yeah, hold on. Yeah, Tsukumogami. Okay, I saw him, Tenma Taro. Do you see a lot of monsters, Jinxie? Uh-huh. Divers. In fact, I encountered the Sunakosuri this morning. Sunakosuri? You know, I don't know that one. Tell me about it. Someone writing this just went on a huge, like, yokai kick, and just decided to write about all of them. That's the only explanation for this. It's a mean little beast that trips you by bumping into your shins. I keep tripping all the time because of that pesky little thing. When it gets really bad, I stick Sunakosori warning charms on my shins. How about investing in some shin guards and watching your step instead? Hmm. Anyways, what piece of media do you think has the worst voice direction? Oh boy, there are a lot of like older games from like the late 90s and early 2000s at this point that the games for the most part are good, but the voice direction just does not work for the scenes. Someone definitely had a recent visit to a cultural landmark in Japan and got hell inspired. I guess, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that, like, there's so many, like, obscure things in this I'm bringing up, like the Sunakosori and, like, the, like, all that. I think it's funny that they're bringing it up. Alright, so back to Athena, which means there's probably something I need to do with her, Jinxie, to make this work. Alderman QB made that statue. It's a token of goodwill. I think it was meant to be for Ninetales Vale and Tenma Town. A token of goodwill? But the two yokai are fighting. Fighting? Oh, I see what you mean. The cup portion is missing. The what? Are they sharing like a... Oh yeah, Tenmataro's right arm is gone. This statue... Oh! Originally depicted the two yokai holding up a cup of celebration. But it sure doesn't look that way now, does it? Maybe it broke when it was used to hit Mayor Tenma on the head. That would explain it. I guess the only two people who knew that it was what it really looked like were the Alderman and I. Now it's just me, but it's a symbol of goodwill will forever be etched into my mind. So, is there anything else we should know about Jinxie? Worst voice direction, though, if I had to say, Voice direction is always an interesting one, because it's a little difficult to tell sometimes if it's that the director was wrong, or if the actors in general weren't that good. Like, they just didn't, like, let's say, by way of example, the direction they gave to the actors for the scene just does not match at all what kind of scene it is. By way of example, there's a relatively recent example from Final Fantasy XIV. There was this one scene where a character was basically, like, his actor, essentially, was told, alright, make an effort that just sounds like you're doing something. And he did. And it sounded kind of weird. Not like sex weird, just like weird, you know? Like, it just didn't really sound like it fit the situation where he was jumping in the water. It was later revealed by that actor that he wasn't even told that that's what he was doing in that scene. He was just told, like, okay, make an effort, it'll work. And then he did, and it sounded off because they just didn't tell him the actual context. It would have sounded better if they did. Yeah. For example, is Kenjaku from JJK. What about it? Oh yeah, I should mention, I didn't see the dub of JJK, so I wouldn't know about that specifically. That's about it. She's lying. Ah, my bracelet! It's reacting! Jinxie, you wouldn't happen to be... lying? Yes. In justice we trust! Yikes! Eek, a ghost! Detective Fulbright, what are you doing here? I have business with this young lady, if you must know. Kenjaku's English VA wasn't told by the director who Kenjaku was, so the VA just gave him a mysterious-sounding voice. Yeah, I feel like, to some extent, you need to just be willing to tell the actors stuff. I mean, let's be real, like, JJK is an adaptation. The stuff that's, like, a spoiler for JJK is already out there. That's, like, you can just tell them what the thing is, you know? I have business with this young lady, if you must know. Prosecutor Blackwell is asking me to question her.
Question me? Sorry, not interested.
Are you here to ask about that whole yokai affair? That's right. Specifically, we want to ask... Ah, but I can't tell you that now, can I? When the JJK movie dropped, the director for the movie actually sat the VA down and had him read JJK's manga and gave us the Kenjaku voice we have now, which was much improved. Okay, so yeah, that's a good idea. If you're going to be doing an acting in something like that that has source material, you should read what your character is like, you know? I think that's kind of standard, in my opinion.
Oh, come on, please. We're partners in justice, right?
No, Prosecutor Blackwell specifically told me that my questions were of the utmost justice. My questions were of the utmost justice. I will not fall for your lies. In justice we trust. The Twisted Samurai sure has him on a short leash.
So you're not a ghost? Maybe some sort of urban troll then?
Probably. Now come along, Miss Tenma. To the station with you.
He took her away.
Missed my chance to see what she was lying about.
Well, at least we found out there's a secret mechanism for opening the chamber. Let's go check it out.
I just hope they let us in now. Yeah, but some directors often have the impression of, if you're here, you must have studied to know something about the character beforehand. No, some don't even think that and just hire good VAs. Yeah, you do need to have a good match between the person and the character, and I think the good way to determine that is just if they even know anything about the character, you know? April 18th, QB Manor Garden. Oh wait, why is his hair blue now? I just noticed that. I realize it's 2026, you can't just ask someone why they're blue, but, you know. Oh, what an absolutely fabulous scent. I'm so glad I had these carnations imported from England. Nothing but the finest will do. You know, this is like... If I had a nickel for every time this week I had to deal with a flower-themed villain, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. You know the best voice delivery in the world, if you can't match the role, you just don't match. Exactly, yeah. Like, sometimes you just don't have... You just unfortunately don't have the right thing for it, you know? Even if you have the right voice, you might not be able to, like, play the character, you know? You need to have both. You need to both sound like the person, and also be able to actually, like, bring out the aspects of the character that make them who they are, you know? It's you know, it's a balancing act. I'm so glad I had these carnations imported from England. Nothing but the finest will do. Wearing blue could be a sign of possession, or he blew himself. Perhaps I should place one aside for our dearly departed alderman.
Hey, it's Mr. LaBelle. Oh, let's ask him about you-know-what. Oh yeah, before we search the Fox Chamber, we should ask about the blackmail letter.
Why, if it isn't the mayor's little lawyers, what do you want with me? Oh, there's something we wanted to ask. Where's that ringing coming from? You'll have to excuse me, what? Okay, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. I like that. I think it's a funny little function to have. I don't know what the audience thinks of this. I think having phones on your shoulders that flip open like that, I think that's kind of sick. That's pretty cool. You'll have to excuse me. Hello, LaBelle here. What the? Those things on his shoulders are cell phones? Yes, about that, you must forgive me. This whole matter with Mayor Tenma has been a complete nightmare. Well, I don't know why LaBelle's presence gives me the urge to call him 19 different slurs right to his face. Okay, but... Only use words that sound like slurs but aren't. That way he can't file charges against you. You gotta think of these things. Anyway, where do you buy clothes like that? France. Oh, surprised? This is my own special design. It's the ultimate in functional beauty. Very practical outfit, not gonna lie. Shoulder pads and double flip phone. Sorry about optimization. I agree, yeah, there's a purpose for it. Functional beauty? Are you sure about that? You simply don't have an eye for beauty. Having an eye for beauty means looking like this guy. I'd rather be blind. So, what do you want with me? To talk, actually. Both Jinxie and Mr. Filch said they saw Tenmataro. But what about you, Mr. LaBelle? If you were in the foyer, why did... Someone with a mouth that big definitely needs a punch to the face. Based on how big his mouth is, maybe it swelled up because he got punched in the face. Oh my god. Well, very well, I admit it. That's right, I, Florent LaBelle, saw the demon Tenmataro. So he did see something. Then why did you lie about not seeing him? I was simply trying to protect dear little Jinxie. Protect Jinxie? What do you mean? Why, don't tell me you haven't heard of that strange little habit of hers. Which one are we talking about? The one where she wanders around making mischief without knowing what she's doing. Oh boy. Rumor has it she's possessed by Tenmataro. That one's new to me. Shut the fuck up! Well, there you have it. I'm about to make him look like Officer Black from Dragon Ball if his lips... Oh my god. Anytime you hear about a Tenmataro sighting, little Jinxie should be your prime suspect. Tell us more about that rumor. So, what was that rumor about Jinxie? They say she's possessed. Not all the time, of course. Hit it suddenly and then starts wandering around doing strange things. Is that so? Although, come to think of it... Yep. That certainly would explain how she was acting earlier. Once she even put on a Tenmataro costume and wandered around the woods at night. She did? That's not a Tenmataro costume, though. That's just... Oh, there it is. How'd you do the bird legs, though? What's the worst movie, place, or show title you've ever heard of? Naming scheme. Oh my god. Look, I'm an Xbox guy, right? But if we're talking like worst naming convention for anything, I think naming the thing that follows the Xbox One X as the Xbox Series X, and also the S in the Series S, I think that's pretty bad. I think that's not a good way to name things. Just gonna put that one out there. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I think if they named the Xbox 720, or the Xbox One, the Xbox 720 back when they could have made bank. That would have been amazing. It'd be perfect. But no, we don't live in that timeline. We live in this one. Anywho, I guess our naming scheme. It is. Although I'm a fan of Final Fantasy, it is increasingly ironic that there are so many of them with a title like Final Fantasy. You know, it's almost like it's like a reverse joke. And now, to be fair, the reason why Final Fantasy is called that is... by the way, there is a reason people think it is. It's not that. It actually is because they were going to call it Fighting Fantasy, but that was already used by something else. So they were like, alright, what is also as alliteration with fighting? Like, Fighting Fantasy. What would sound like that? Oh! Final Fantasy. There's something. So that's why that's called that. But yeah, that's, yeah, console naming schemes are really bad. But you know what? I will give credit to PlayStation. They keep it simple. It's the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, 4, 5. It'll be 6 next. It's not exactly a very flashy naming system, but you know what? It gets the job across. You understand exactly what you're getting. 5 is better than 4. 4 is better than 3. For all the flack people give them on other things, I think their naming convention, while boring, is sensible. And it makes it very easy to tell what's going on. And then there's like, I don't know. Or is it an Evil despite it not being localized issue at all? The Last of Us despite there being several groups. Last of Us I'll give credit just because it does sound like a cool title. I'll give it some credit there. Other bad titles, I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. Well, obviously we have the best title, if we're gonna like set a baseline. The best title is Monster Hunter. You can tell someone like, oh, I'm playing Monster Hunter. And if they ask, what's it about? You say, you hunt monsters. The title tells you everything you need to know about it. Let me think what else though. As far as like terrible titles go, in a sense, this is kind of like a lore thing. Hunter x Hunter, aka Hunter x Hunter, has kind of a bad title, but from a lore perspective, because as part of the rules of being a hunter, you're not allowed to hunt other hunters. But the joke in the title is that, or not the joke, but like the point of the title is that Gon is hunting his father, who is a hunter, so he is a hunter, even though that is against the laws of the Hunter Association, and therefore does not make any sense. Wolf Among Us is a good title because it tells you everything you need to get started. Yeah, exactly. There's a wolf, and he's among people. There you go. Simple, which, by the way, I'm looking forward to Wolf Among Us 2. Might as well go restream the first season, because that's already out, and I think, or the remastered version's coming out. But hey, might as well do it. It's been like 13 years since I played it last time. Holy fuck, it's been like 13 years since season 1 of Wolf Among Us. Wow. It has been a while. God damn. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. I guess if we're like, let's say some good titles, for example. Watch Dogs is also pretty bad because there are no Watch Dogs whatsoever. Alright, so let's say like a good title, for example. Witch Hat Atelier. There are witches in it, there are hats, and there's an atelier. So hey, there you go, all 3 of those things. Let me think, though, what else? Bad title. Bad, as in like, it tells you very little and is also, and or is inaccurate. I will say this is something that's like kind of like slightly annoying. Ace Attorney games are numbered in Japanese, but they're not numbered in English. Which if it wasn't in a collection like this, it would make it a little hard to actually like go through and you know, figure out which one is in what order, just based on the titles. So that's slightly an answer for that, but that's more of an English localization thing. Troll Hunters, good title because it's very descriptive of what the main premise is about without handling too much information. Exactly, yeah, there you go. With handling too much information. It's good because it tells you everything you need to know. That's about it. You can't hope for more in a title. It has to be snappy, it has to sound good, and it also has to tell you what you need to know about it. Like the movie Alien. You know what Alien is about? It's about an alien. Predator, about a predator. Commando, it's about a commando. Trying to think of what else. Isekai titles are the fucking worst because they're too long to give the entire synopsis of the story. Yeah, I agree. That's like, yes, it can be accurate, but at that point, it's just being too long. It's not snappy enough. You need something quick. Something memorable, you know? Like, Ace Attorney. What is it about? It's about an attorney that's really good at his job. There you go. Perfect, right there. Dragon Quest. What is it about? It's about a quest dealing with dragons. Metal Gear titles are very good too. You know what? Yeah, Metal Gear, snappy. What's in Metal Gear? There are Metal Gears. They're giant mechs. What's solid about it? Solid Snake. Simple. It really is that simple. Plus, you got things like Snake Eater and Peace Walker, where it's like, even if that doesn't necessarily make sense on the outset for like what kind of story it is, it sounds cool and also is relevant in the story later. Or Guns of the Patriots, or Sons of Liberty. You know, they sound cool at the very least. What else? What else we got? Hey, Subnautica. You know what's good about that title? It's under the water. You know where you are most of the game? Under the water. See? Good stuff. Good stuff. Shovel Knight, what's that about? Shovel Knight. Got a knight with a shovel. Jump King, what's that about? A king that jumps. Very simple, very easy. Assassin's Creed, it's actually about multiple things, but there are assassins in it, so that counts. There you go. Things don't have to run out like Mario and fucking suck because it's just a name with no context. Yeah, you could make an argument that Mario Odyssey counts just because it's like, oh, Mario goes on an adventure, but like, all of them are Mario going on an adventure. Mario Galaxy, I'll give some credit to for the fact that it is in space, and the galaxy at least tells you, oh, it's in space. So there's that. I think you could make an argument that James Bond movies don't tell you much, but like, by virtue of it being James Bond, you kind of know what you're getting into, I would say. Trying to think what else. What other stuff have like good or bad names? Devil May Cry isn't that descriptive, but it does sound cool and it's memorable. So there's that. And it is something in the story. That is the name of Dante's shop. Matrix tells you the story's going to take place. Yep, Matrix, good one. Expedition 33 tells you that there's a 33rd expedition. There you go. I guess for one final example, what was I gonna say? It was like Donkey Kong Bonanza. There's a Bonanza and Donkey Kong's in it. Easy as. Doesn't tell you what a Bonanza is, granted, but you know what? It's unique. There is a banana and there's a za. And every time you get a banana, it's like, ooh, banana. And I like that. And there's a pose and everything. I wish I'd never asked. Does she remember anything while she's possessed? Unfortunately, no. She doesn't seem to remember a thing during these episodes. Moonlight Castle tells you the most important location of the story. I've never actually heard of Moonlight Castle, but I'm curious about it. What is that? Memory lost during possession. Come to think of it, her memory of the murder scene was quite fuzzy. I suppose that, too, was caused by her possession. Ah, then maybe... So you do understand. That whole yokai business was entirely of her own making. Now, wait a minute. Although that yokai evidence wasn't there until after she discovered the crime scene, did she leave those black feathers and strange tracks there herself? Apollo, let's ask Mayor Tenma about Jinxie's episodes the next time we talk with him. We need to ask him about the blackmail letter. What is that? It's the blackmail letter, but it wasn't sent to Alderman Hubie. It was sent to Mayor Tenma. And... your point being... someone took the letter from the mayor's briefcase and then placed it in the alderman's pocket after he was murdered. It's one of the VNs I'm reading. It's actually pretty damn good. It's about someone trying to find their dead sister whose spirit got trapped in a deadly castle that only shows up in the forest at night. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh, you don't say. You wouldn't happen to be the one who made the switch, would you? Apollo, why would you just ask him that? Granted, we've got Athena here, but she's not really backup, you know? After all, you're the only one who knew that the blackmail letter was in his briefcase. So naturally, you... Perhaps that shot of cologne will make those scales fall from your eyes. Well, that doesn't probably to your taste if you don't like anthropomorphic characters. I'm okay with it. I mean, I like Odd Taxi. I think Odd Taxi was great. You ever seen Odd Taxi? It's a really good show. I've also seen a little bit of Beastars, but I'm open to watching more of it. I just haven't seen all of it. Where my eyes fall from their sockets. Is it possible that you would like to frame me as a potential suspect? What would make you raise such an outrageous allegation in the first place? But hey, if you like stories full of delicious amounts of trauma, then go ahead. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, without going into spoilers, after that last episode of Witch Had Atelier, yeah, I'm open to stories with that, but still, yeah. Anyway, they actually released the final season of Beastars, which I haven't seen yet. I still need to see the rest of it. I've only seen a couple episodes, but I thought it was pretty good. And hey, it's about acting, kinda. So, there's that. Oh, well, my only crime is being born as beautiful as you see here. In other words, you have nothing. Now, let me show you what to do with this garbage. Ah, you can't destroy evidence like that. What do you mean I can't? I just did. Feel a little lighter now? You've just won a one-way trip to the top of my most annoying people ever list, buddy. Also, that is an actual crime, destroying evidence. Just gonna put that one out there. Are we done with your silly questions now? I'm a very busy man, you know. You can see the part with the knight who caught the thief with the X-ray glasses? In what show? Is that Witch Had Atelier or, Beastars? Because either way, the answer is no. But yeah, Witch Had Atelier, if you didn't watch the anime, it ended in the middle, I guess, of the Snake Path arc. Without going into too many more specifics. We will probably get a season 2, though one is not got announced yet. I guess that's it for now. Hello, LaBelle speaking. Really? You wish to carry my new product at your store? Oh, but I'm afraid it's my own private brand. It's not available to the public. What? Then I shouldn't advertise it on TV? But I don't understand. As the embodiment of beauty, it is my duty to announce my good looks to the world. I tell you, yeah, damn, what I mentioned is actually darker than that. Really? It gets darker than what just happened. Fuck. That world sucks. No, like, really though, I do like the world of Witch Had Atelier, but man, there's a lot of fucked up shit in it. As one would expect from a world with magic like that. But yeah, that's, oof. It's something. I do like that show a lot, though. I'm interested in seeing more of it. Stop the bus, I'm getting off. Everyone wants my exclusive Je suis LaBelle brand products. Oh yeah, here's a... You thought that was worse? It gets... oh, fuck. It gets worse than that? Yikes. Oh, well, I've got a lot ahead of me then. Here's a fun little Monster Hunter fact for you. Back when Monster Hunter 4 came out, for some reason, French players loved the insect glaive, and because their languages were set to French, they would have a thing wherever they mounted a monster, because that's also where mounting became a thing with Monster Hunter 4, where it would just say in chat, Je suis monté. I think that was it. Je suis monté. Which means I have mounted, or something. But yeah, that became a meme with Monster Hunter where you just say like, Je suis monté, or something like that, whenever you mount a monster. It's the crown jewel of my collection, born of my long, relentless pursuit of beauty. But now that it's become so popular, it's been an absolute nightmare. You don't say. Well, they can't have it. It's just for me. It's not meant for you peasants. Peasants? This is my latest product. I'm calling it Cooler Me Labelle. I feel like there could have been a better name for that. A dazzling hair color that you could wash out with just water. I'm gonna have to throw water at him in the thing, aren't I? Well, just imagine, like, he puts that on and, like, his big freak-out moment, because we know this guy killed him. The big freak-out moment is him, like, putting a bucket on his head that washes out all the color. I am mounted. Mounted what? Like, I know you like mounting and riding monsters, but I need you to lock in. Je suis monté. Guess that means you can't sweat. I have 7 colors in all. You can find out more in my commercials and magazine ads. Yet it's not available to the public. Great sales strategy there, genius. Come to think of it, Mr. LaBelle, your hair color's changed since the last time we met. Okay, so they bring it up. Oh, the little lady is quite the discerning eye. Here's a little sample. Consider it a gift for one who truly appreciates beauty. Oh, Apollo, what should I do? Better take it before you get a face full of cologne. Good point. Wow, thanks, Mr. LaBelle. Cooler Me LaBelle added to the court record. This has to be... How much you want to bet that the blood in the carpet wasn't actually blood, it was like red hair dye? It probably wasn't, it was probably actually blood. There was a lot of blood, but it might have been. Okay, let's head over to the Fox Chamber. Still gotta find the secret mechanism for opening the Forbidden Chamber. You're welcome, I'm about to fight my first Malzeno. Oh yeah, good luck. I guess just keep your stamina up. That's all I'll say about that. Which, granted, is good advice for any fight in Monster Hunter, but, you know, just make sure you can dodge if you need to. But yeah, I love the Malzeno fight. Malzeno's got a great fight to him. Considering that there's Seregios and Gore Magala, hopefully it has better design. In terms of, like, what exactly? Like, damage? Because if it's damage, you're not gonna be the happiest. April 18th, QB Manor, Fox Chamber. This is around the point where it's like, if you haven't replaced your armor by now, you probably should. Just in general. Okay, let's find that secret mechanism for opening the Forbidden Chamber. Oh, this is so exciting in terms of physical appearance. I do like Malzeno's design. I think also its armor is pretty cool, but yeah, it's, I think you'll like it. I think I have one of the highest stamina thresholds in the game, so I should be fine. Okay, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Oh, this is so exciting. I can't wait to see how it works. But do you really think that the killer entered the Forbidden Chamber? We'll just have to open it and find out. We should also see if there was anywhere the killer could have hid in this room. Okay, let's get started. Appurate, Apollo, appurate. I don't know what that means. Also, I just wanted to clarify, why is this... Hold on. Look at anything particularly interesting there. Okay, so I already fucked up. Stop it. I think we'll find anything else under this chair. Still no keyhole, huh? Oh, okay, maybe I have to do something with, like, the fox statues. Yeah, and the door won't budge, just like those spiky bangs of yours. I should replace my Valstrax set with a combo of the Lunagaron and Gore and Astalos sets. I'm terrible against fire, but good against everything else. Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine. I think. So, yeah, I think you're good. Yeah, and the door won't budge, just like those spiky bangs of yours. Well, all it takes is some water, but I don't think that would work on the door. Oh, I know! I'll break it down with a body slam! Ha 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 ha! I seriously doubt you could do that. Shh. How do you know if I haven't even How do you know if I haven't even tried? No, wait, don't! Ah! As much as you hate losing, Athena, I think the door would win this match. There's a carving of the nine-tailed fox over the door and statues of him on either side. The way those two statues are glaring, it's like they're guarding the door from us. Come to think of it, there are two foxes on the folding screen as well. It can't be a coincidence, can it? Hey, this statue moves! Don't get carried away now. I mean, who knows? It might be trigger a trap. I can handle it. If a spear comes shooting my way, I'll snatch it out of the air. After all, I have the reflexes of a regular karate kid. I guess if you can catch something that fast out of midair, you can accomplish anything. Still, there might be something to the fact that these fox statues rotate. The fact I'm only allowed to have Fia with me is a little annoying. Well, yeah, she wants revenge for the whole thing. Maybe there's something around here that shows the position they should be in. Like on the screen, facing away from each other. Two foxes standing back to back are depicted on this elegant folding screen. Couldn't this have something to do with the keyhole? Wait a minute. Two foxes. There are two fox statues in front of the Forbidden Chamber as well. Exactly. Maybe the keyhole will appear if we do something to this folding screen. He's got through the cutscene for, dear god, it's majestic as hell. Yeah, I love Malzeno. It's really good. But I don't see anything unusual about it. Well, it does have two foxes on it, and there are two fox statues in front of the door. Then maybe there's a clue somewhere in this room. Let's turn the whole place upside down. He's as excited as a kid in a candy store. Something that triggers it. Well, it wouldn't be that, because that statue's just kind of there. Look, a cat with two tails! No such thing. Oh, and this lady has a really long neck! I need to work on the laugh, god damn it. How funny is that? Oh, my laugh is terrible. There's no way a creature like that could ever exist. She'd have a tough time swallowing. Apollo, I bet you were one of those kids who didn't believe in Santa Claus. What's that got to do with anything? Doesn't this Tanuki statue remind me of the Manos caretaker, Phineas Filch? This raccoon-looking thing? Yeah, it does look like him. Laugh like a grandpa, which makes it even funnier. Oh, okay. Alright, well, that is somewhat appeal to some people, I guess. I can make that work. Ooh, I just got the best idea! We should knock it over. It might transform back into Mr. Filch. Filch is mischievous, but he's not magical, you know? Way to waste a brilliant idea, Apollo. So what could be a sign that I can open the door with the thing? I thought I might be able to use one of those things as a switch to move it, but... Huh. I've already examined pretty much everything in this room. Maybe we'll just move the statues, but like... Yeah, it can't. Hey, the statue, yeah, it moves, but hmm. It shows the position they should be in. Yeah, we found it, Apollo. It's this thing. Back to back. Hmm. Okay, so how about, like, right here? I just remembered this mystery novel I once read. The murder occurred in a locked room, and the perpetrator made sure to hide behind the room's door when it was opened. Then, when no one was looking, he made his escape. Yeah, I think that's just a broken statue. A clever trick, but it would have been impossible in this case. See this broken Tanuki statue here? The door must have banged into it when it was opened. Oh, I get it. The killer couldn't have been there because of the statue. Yep. Hmm. We already looked at all that. There's another thing in the window. Might as well look at it. The statue originally depicted the two yokai holding up a cup. The statue originally depicted the two yokai holding up a cup in a gesture of goodwill. That's just the third case trick from Danganronpa V3, isn't it? I think so. Though, to be fair, that's not a very uncommon trick as far as, like, locked room stuff goes. It's just, like, that's the easiest way to say, like, oh, I wasn't here, but I arrived when you guys did. As far as locked room murder mysteries goes, generally there has to be some kind of trick to escape from the room, which makes it not a true locked room, or they were there and then just kind of like shimmy in when no one else sees them. Maybe Alderman QB was planning on smoothing things over with Mayor Tenma. He was murdered instead. By somebody who intervened. The mayor was only pursuing the municipal merger because he'd been blackmailed. Who knows? If this murder hadn't occurred, maybe they could have come up with a solution. Hmm. Maybe the killer hid under this table. That would be a terrible hiding place. The alderman's body would have been right above. Maybe you're right. Guess the underside is a bit... Wait, there is something under the table. Let's check it out. What would it be? What the Oh, this is part of the statue. Hey, look! There's something down there. It looks like a piece of something. Only question is, a piece of what? Oh, I know! It might be a piece of this statue. Remember what Jinxie said? The statue originally depicted two yokai holding up a cup. It was a symbol of goodwill. So this piece broke off and rolled under the table? Ox and Demon statue updated in the court record. Well, I can't think of anywhere else to look. You find anything, Apollo? We'll never find the keyhole to the Forbidden Chamber at this rate. There's something about that folding screen. You know how those fox statues in front of the Forbidden Chamber move? That screen might be a clue as to how we're supposed to position them or something. Uh-huh. You don't say, come on. Hey, I bet you're right. Let's go over that screen with a fine-toothed comb. We already saw it. We don't need to see it again. On closer inspection, I think there's more to the screen than meets the eye. Let's check every last inch of it. I can rotate the folding screen. Oh, okay, I see what it means. Yeah. I can rotate the folding screen with R... and if I spot anything of interest, I can press A on it to inspect further. You can also zoom in and out with Y and B to get a better look. Now let's check every last inch of it. I'm just playing Mecha Chameleon with the, this folding screen. It's a picture of a key. The shape looks awfully familiar. Oh, I know! It's shaped like the Forbidden Chambers key. We're definitely getting warmer. Okay, now let's take an even closer look. What's this? Looks like a keyhole or something. It is one cool folding screen, to be fair. It does look very nice. You think it could be the keyhole to the Forbidden Chamber? Wait, what about that key drawn on the end of the screen? You think the two are related? A key and keyhole? Oh, I just got an idea! If we folded the screen up just right, the key and the keyhole should overlap. Hey, I think you're right. Let's give it a try. Look, a door! Yeah, and it's open, too. Do other MH games have Turf Wars or is it Rise exclusive? That is in World and Iceborne, obviously because Iceborne is the expansion. Rise, and then also Wilds. They all have Turf Wars. It became a thing in World, and just kind of became like a staple afterwards. Just because it's like a cool ecology thing. Anyway. Hey, what if we made those fox statues face each other? Apollo, let's go check out those two statues. Okay, help me move the two statues so they face each other. Just like on the screen. Look! A lock appeared. Now we can use that key. Okay, here goes nothing. It worked! Time to see why this chamber is so forbidden. What secrets could it hold, I wonder? April 18th, QB Manor, Forbidden Chamber. I think the Lunagaron and Zenogre Turf War is my favorite, because seeing the two wolves at their full power just beating each other senses appeals to the brute-loving part of me. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I like seeing the ones in Iceborne and World where Nergigante got into a fight with like anything, because Nergigante, I don't know if you would know what a Nergigante is, but it's a very brutal monster. It's this big it's not a big Elder Dragon, but like it's a normal-sized Elder Dragon that's just covered in spikes and just like slams things to the ground. It's pretty cool. I think it's like the second most popular monster in the franchise. Creak, thud. These doors needed some serious oil. Ah! That was like nails on a chalkboard! Oh, right. Forgot about those super good ears of yours. Oh, hey, some of his hair dyes at the scene. Look, more feathers. Eek! What the heck is that? Is that a Tenmataro statue? But there's something odd about it.
All I know is I don't like it, but I can't explain why.
You okay, Athena? You look kind of pale.
You're not scared, are you? What, if this thing? Don't make me laugh.
Really?
Hey, look! What? What is it?
Over there on the left. There's a bunch of staves on that rack. Except one's missing. They kind of look like the staff we saw earlier.
You mean the one Jinxie said she saw Tenmataro carrying?
Yeah, I bet our Tenmataro impersonator really did come in here at some point.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's search the place.
What's this? Whatever it is, the packaging is really gaudy. And the fact that there's no dust on it means it hasn't been here very long.
Oh, it's hand cream. Let's see what brand it is. Just Sweet LaBelle?
LaBelle? What the? But then, wouldn't that mean Mr. LaBelle was here?
I guess so, but why?
Well, whoever was dressed up like Tenmataro must have taken a staff from here in the Forbidden Chamber. And that same person probably dropped this hand cream at that time.
In other words, the Tenmataro impersonator we're looking for is none other than...
Florent LaBelle.
This might be a big break for us in court tomorrow. Now all we have to do is get the truth out of Mayor Tenma.
Hand cream added to the court record. Stone lantern.
Like those Japanese garden lamps? Where's the switch?
Lamps like these are lit by fire, not electricity, so there is no switch.
Oh, here it is.
What?
It was hidden out of sight.
I see Tenmataro's cell has been outfitted with the amenities a yokai would want. Hey, there's a bunch of stabs here, and it looks like one's missing. Well, it's like, I knew it was that guy from the fact that in the beginning of this trial, it showed a video of him killing the dude. And that's about as conclusive as it gets. The Tenmataro Jinxie saw must have taken it.
I'd have to agree. That looks like the one Detective Fulbright showed us.
Why do you think there are so many here?
Maybe they're spares. Tenmataro might be, you know, absent-minded or something. But the fact that he has spare staves so handy, well, it shows that he's aware of his faults and is trying to deal with them. Or at least that's my take on it.
Maybe this will remind her to deal with her own faults. But I won't hold my breath. I know, but I'm always weary of it being a bait and switch. That's fair. It could have been something else. But yeah, all the evidence points to this guy. It looks like a gravestone or something. It reads, "Here lies Tenmataro, age 80." No, it says, has been imprisoned. Or been imprisoned. Cause of death, choked on a chicken bone.
Say it ain't so!
Besides, it sounds more like an autopsy report than an epitaph, if you ask me. Wait, you're joking around because you're scared. It's your coping mechanism.
I'm not scared.
Freakout Central, right here, baby.
Cut it out, Widget!
Denial is strong in this one. Let's see, there's a scroll, and then there's also... There. He choked his chicken, now that's an amazing death. Imagine that actually is the way you die. Where it's like, the police come across the scene, they're like, this is gonna be one hard case. But, looks like an old scroll, and there's something drawn on it. Unless I'm mistaken, it looks like an old guy, some sort of monk, maybe?
A monk? What are you talking about?
You know, people that take walks in mountains as a form of spiritual training.
Wouldn't that just be a hiker?
guy in this picture doesn't look like he's doing this for fun, Athena. Oh, look, there's some yellow thing strapped to his back. Gold? Whoa, it's turning into Tenmataro. What's this scroll getting at? Is this how Tenmataro was born? Well, whatever it is, it's definitely creepy. In the afterlife, I'd be so happily pissed off. Yeah, I can see that. There are worse ways to die. Oh, that's one big statue. Must be something like 15 feet tall. And look! This Tenmataro has a staff! But the Tenmataro in the scroll didn't have one. I wonder why. I feel like this could be significant, but why? Let's take a closer look. First to go around this table here. Ha! Apollo, are you sure that's a good idea? Hey, it looks like there's some sort of compartment in the base of the statue. Don't open it! Who knows what might be in there? It's just a big empty compartment. From all the dust and cobwebs. I'd say it hasn't been opened in a really long time. It's enough, Apollo. Let's shut it and... Wait, there is something in here. What the fuck is that? Looks like some sort of figure, but it's so dusty I can't tell what it's supposed to be. Wonder what it's doing here. Forbidden chamber figure added to the court record. Imagine meeting in the afterlife. How did you die? Oh, I choked on a cock. Who's the lucky guy? Oh, it was a good bucket of Popeye's chicken. Ah! I think we've already seen... Oh, wait. One last thing. Oh, look, there's an air vent here, too. I guess even forbidden chambers need proper ventilation. I don't think anyone could reach this either. Anyone could reach this one either. Yeah, and there's nothing to stand on around here. I wonder where this vent leads. Well, the Fox Chambers vent didn't branch this way, so... maybe it doesn't have anything to do with this case after all. Guess that about wraps it up. Based on the fact that I couldn't move on before that, I'm gonna go ahead and guess it is important. What now? Should probably talk to someone out of the witnesses again. You mean like Mr. Filch and Jinxie? Yeah. I really want to ask Mr. Filch about the village superstitions and Tenmataro. Well, it does feel like a good little spot to end on. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. My next stream is sometime this week. Keep an eye out for my schedule tomorrow. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And goodbye for now.